Hey, so I wanted to take a moment to really talk about some different shifts in mindset that, as a remote job seeker, that you need to take. And these are some of the mistakes that I've seen, and I've worked with lots of people on finding remote positions. And these are some of the common things that I see, especially in the beginning. But then even as they go through their search, some of these things remain relevant. So really figuring out a way to shift these mindsets early is going to help you a lot. So let's take a look at the board here. And the very first one I want to talk about is what I call the paradox of need. So the paradox of need is basically this paradox of really needing a remote job, having a situation where you maybe don't have a position right now and you feel stressed for time, you can't necessarily pay your bills, and whatever that stress is in your life that's causing you to really need a job. The paradox of that is it makes you come across desperate, and then it was going to take you even longer. So I get a lot of people that come into this program and they say, hey, I don't want to go through all this stuff at the beginning. I just want to know how to find a job. And it's like, the idea is that this whole process is meant to get you a job quicker. It's not meant to slow it down. There are foundational things that you have to do up front, and especially consider some of the mindset issues that you might have. Whereas if you were to just continue to go at it and brute force try to find a remote position as fast as possible, you come across desperate and you don't pay attention to some of the details that are really important in actually accelerating your ability to get a remote position. Another thing here, let's go to number 2, and these are going to kind of be layered on each other here, is entitlement. So when I talk about entitlement, I basically want to speak to the different levels of entitlement that I see in the marketplace. Like, I'll have people come to me and say, I need a remote job, like show me how to get a remote job. Like and they come at this with this sense of like, just because they need a job, they deserve it. With everything else in life, you have to prove yourself, right? And with everything in life, you need to have relevant experience and data that proves that you deserve something. So to come into this automatically assuming that you deserve a job when maybe you don't, I think plagues a lot of people, because then they get really frustrated and they have this sense of entitlement that doesn't get fulfilled when they can't actually find a position. So don't think that you're entitled to deserve just anything. And some people have also the mistake of shooting too high in the process of trying to figure out what is the job that they can get, and then going after something that's not even within their realm of expertise and expecting to get it. There's a lot of competition for this stuff. So it's not easy. Third thing here kind of goes along with entitlement, but it's expectations, and how you set your expectations along this process is very important. What you expect from yourself, what you expect from companies, and really the expectations that you align. There's part of this that is, if you expect to fail, you will, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But then if you expect everything to be easy, it's not going to be easy. So there's some different parts along this scale, what I'd call like a scale of expectations that you need to be aware of that is going to impact. And I'm going to leave a video in this as well. It's a YouTube video on a TED Talk about expectations, because I think it's really important to embrace the idea of success, that you're going to be successful at this, but not to overestimate, how short of time this might take you and how easy this might be for you, because that's not going to be the case. Another thing here is number 4, responsibility. Hoping I'm spelling everything right. Responsibility is really important because the buck stops with you. I'm, as a course creator, as a remote job coach, I'm not responsible for you to get a remote job. I'm here to guide and provide information as best I can and put you in a position to best be able to find a remote position, but I am not responsible for your results. And I think when you look at what some people want out of this experience, whether it's working with me or whether it's working with a recruiter, some people just expect that other people are going to take responsibility for their search and hand them the job. Here you go, here's a job. And that's just not the case. Like, you have to take full responsibility and ownership for everything that happens in your life, including this job search. And no one's going to want it more than you. Last thing here, number 5, is discouragement. This one is tough because over time, if you get rejected, if you don't see the results you want to see, you're going to feel this sense of discouragement. And I see a lot of people quit. See a lot of people get to a certain part in this process and hit a wall and feel like they can't go on any further and feel like they can't continue to progress. So I just want to warn you that that happens. It's in human nature to feel that discouragement, but the true winners of this process are the ones who work through that discouragement and work through that mindset of, thinking that, hey, I can't actually do this. Granted, there will be people that will have a better ability to do this than others, and some people this actually won't be the right thing. So I think having a self-awareness of all 5 of these mindset mistakes and how they're going to play a role in your search is going to be extremely important. So I wanted to talk about those particular things. If you have any questions, you can drop something in the discussion here, but these are the mindset mistakes to consider.